Well, the first few days, it's been going well. It's great to be back out there with all the guys and all the new faces. The defense has been, Coach KP has really been simplifying it for us. Everybody's been picking it up really good, and I can say as a whole, we're clicking together pretty well.
How does it, talking obviously defensively, I know it's only been 3 days, so it's kind of hard to assess what's been going on, but what are y'all going to try to kind of hope to change back there, especially, in the secondary to kind of improve on, last year?
I can say overall, probably just being more aggressive, but at the same time trusting in our technique. And a lot of that comes back to just having confidence. And that's what KP, Coach Jones, and all the defensive coaches been instilling in us lately is just a lot of confidence. And you can tell that it's really playing a huge effect on us as a defense because we're really balling right now these first few days in this camp.
All right, we're going to pause for 1 second. We're going to adjust the camera real quick.
Okay, it looks fine to me.
Got it. All right, we will go to Ryan King.
Hey Zach, you mentioned the things you guys want to work on gelling. Is it different going into year two? Can you already see just in a couple days that guys pick things up faster because the ones that are returning are used to the system? Or what is that biggest change for you and the guys that are around you?
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of it has to do, like you said, with we're just used to the system. Obviously, yeah, last year being this staff's first year here, I mean, for a lot of players that were here previously before me, it was just a whole different learning curve. But now, going into year two, it's just a lot easier to pick up on things, whether it's vision coverage or man coverages. And it really just helps us out as a secondary too, because we can just play fast, and that's what you really want as a defense.
Coach Patterson really talks a lot about turnovers. You guys did get a lot of those last season. How does he talk about them now? How do you guys talk about them now? Is it just keeping with what you guys did last year, or is it ramping up to get even more of them? Because it was already a good amount of turnovers. How does he really talk about those this season?
Yeah, it was a good amount. It's just really ramping it up even more now, like you said. Like today, we had like 5, I think, turnovers in the team period. It's just something Coach Jones always says, just get your hands on the ball. Like, that's what we're thinking out there. Just get the ball back in our offense's hand. That's what we've been doing lately.
Go to Billy Watson.
Hey Zach, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, so when the first wave of coronavirus first hit, you guys had your first couple practices, and that was kind of it. How did you feel after that? Like I said, you just had the couple practices. What kind of stuck out to you going into those first weeks without spring ball?
It was really weird. I can't really explain it. I mean, like you guys would know that like the whole world seemed like it came to a halt. I remember that last meeting. We didn't practice that day for spring ball, and we just all left and went home and didn't come back for like the next 3 or 4 months. But it was just real different. I mean, we had to, adjust to it. So with all these Zoom meetings and stuff, it was different at first, learning everything. But it's just something you had to do. But other than that, it was real weird. Hopefully it never happens again, to be honest.
Your teammate Eli said that he had to go around trying to find places to work out. Is that kind of similar with what you had to do as well?
Yeah, I was working out in the living room with just rubber band, the weight bands, and that's all I had. Some players went back home and brought their weights back and set up weight room in the garage and stuff like that. But I just stayed in the house and did some band workouts.
Go to Chuck Carlton.
Yeah, Zach. Thanks for doing this. Just was curious, coming from out east, if you had any former teammates or friends who played at MAC schools, if you've been in touch with them at all, and how aware were you of the MAC's decision yesterday to cancel the season?
I was unaware, but I do have some friends that go to some MAC schools. They're pretty upset about it. I would be too, but that's all it really gave me on it. They didn't really see it coming. It wasn't something they expected, but it was pretty unfortunate to, have that league not playing this year.
And I guess a follow-up, how aware are you of just all the debates? I mean, do you just block that out and concentrate on football until somebody tells you not to, or are you following kind of the discussions in college football?
I'm following it, but I try not to pay too much attention to it personally, but obviously it does play a big part to me, so I should. But I'm really just taking it day by day. If they want to go ahead and cancel it, it is what it is. But as of right now, my mind's focused on this season. Hopefully, we'll be able to play this year.
And last question for me, you've seen some players, I know Trevor Lawrence, some other people on social media saying, hey, we want to play. What's your mindset for the season?
For sure, we want to play. I mean, that's what we're here for. We worked all this off season, and we want to show the world with the work we put in. So hopefully, they'll let us play this year.
Go to Don Williams.
Hey, Zach. Kind of following up on that, what did you think when you saw Micah Parsons out this season?
I wasn't too surprised. With a guy like him, and all his draft grades and the production he puts on the stat sheet is pretty unreal. And his spot is really secured in the draft for the most part. He got a real bright future ahead of him.
I was asking Coach Wells yesterday, I guess, about what the keys are to a grad transfer, being able to come in and immediately be a factor, either a starter or a key guy in the rotation. You were able to do that last year, obviously. From your perspective, what do you think the keys are to a grad transfer, since you have some more guys like that position you were in last year?
Right.
What are the keys to getting them up and running quickly?
Well, the first key is just coming in, with the confidence, that you have. And, the confidence relies a lot on the experience that comes with it from playing at previous school. And also, really in college football, a lot of the playbooks are kind of similar. It's just different terminology. So you already got a one-up on, players who are just coming into college or things like that, because all you do is have to learn a different terminology for different plays. It's nothing too different. Schemes are kind of the same. So it helps you pick up everything really, really quick.
What is different for you this season, either on the field or off the field? Just the fact that you've spent a year in Lubbock now and kind of know where everything is and have friends and that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm more comfortable. I can say that. Got a lot of experience, just from last year, and KP and Coach Jones have really been helping me simplify the game even more. And I've been exploring new positions and just learning the whole secondary. So that's really a good thing for me. And the sky's the limit, I say. I just keep the chip on my shoulder and keep on working.
Go to Sean Dillon.
Hey, Zach, talk about how you're going to feel once you finally get to put pads on and be able to actually put a smack on somebody.
I'm going to feel great. You can kind of see it in practice. We ain't allowed to touch them, but we call it like dino striking, but I can't wait to thud somebody up. Haven't done that in a long time.
And who do you see on the other side of the ball that is going to be the person that's going to give you the biggest challenge?
Here at Tech?
Yes.
At receivers, I mean, we got a lot of them are good. I would say Seth Collins, Eric, Caden. Everybody's game is excelling, and it helps me get better. We help them get better. So pretty much all of them, I can say that the game's really shot up for them.
Go back to Ryan King.
Zach, you kind of touched on it right there. We're getting Eric later today. What was it about him that was so special, just as a freshman, be able to lead the team in receiving, and where have you seen him growing as a player?
His confidence is way up. I can say that. He's really growing into himself. He's a big receiver. He put a lot of weight on this offseason also. And just for him, he's one of the leaders of the receiving corps. So, he got a lot of confidence going into this year, and I can't wait to see him play personally. So,
go to David Collier.
I think I'm the Don Williams for the day. Can you hear me? No?
Yeah.
You can. All right. I was just playing the role of Don Williams. Sorry about that. You mentioned Coach Jones. How different has it been under him? I know you've been in meetings and everything with him and had a couple of practices, but how has he changed the secondary for you guys?
Really, I would say accountability. He doesn't take any type of BS from any players. And that's what we kind of needed here, I would say a lot, is just to be accountable for our own actions on and off the field. And that's what he holds us to. He holds us to a higher standard, and in terms of playing, it's just like he instills the confidence level into us and simplifies the game. He calls it cheetah, and that's what we just say on the field. It's just cheetah everything. That just means close it to the near hip, and once you're on the hip, make a play on the ball, and that's really helped us all just simplify everything for us.
This is your third different defensive back coach in 3 years. I mean, has it been an easy transition? I mean, I guess when you're older, you learn how to go through these things a little easier, but has it been easy with him in there?
Yeah, like you said, with age, it's been easier, but I mean, it's definitely different, but it's a business. I'm not really, it is what it is. I wouldn't think too much of it personally.
Let's go back to Don Williams.
Zach, a moment ago you mentioned Seth Collins looking good. Since he has spent so much time off the field with that injury he had last year, when did he start to look like his old self again? Being back out on the field, and can you kind of elaborate a little bit about just what he has showing you?
Yeah, I can. It goes all the way back to when we were in quarantine. We used to do a lot of work together when we weren't in the facility, and his game is just, he looks like the old self. I wouldn't know personally, but I seen film on him before I got here, and he has his confidence back, and he's ready to ball. He's an older guy too, so he's a leader on the field as well.
If I remember correctly, at this time last year when we talked, you said that when you came in, I believe you were rooming with the other grad transfers, if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
guys like Evan and Ormond and RJ,
Yeah.
possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So since those guys are completed their eligibility or Evan's gone, who are you rooming with now? What's your living situation?
I just moved out, and I'm living with Eric Monroe now, so we got a 2-bedroom, but I miss RJ, Armand, and those guys as well. So.
And the fact that Eric is coming in new, I guess, can you help him out?
Yeah.
Making that same adjustment that you were making last year.
Yeah, Eric, he really helped himself. He knows everything. He's out there telling guys who've been here what to do already. So, it's like he's been here this whole time. So. He's one of the older guys, and he's surely going to help this defense this year.
Go back to David Collier for one last question.
Zach, could you kind of mentioned Eric there and him being able to hop right in. Coach Wells had mentioned Cam White, Cam Watts as some young faces. Is there anybody that you've taken under your wing, kind of noticed, and trying to help them along?
Yeah, Cam Watts. I've taken him under my wing. I'm his big brother. He learns everything well too. He's really athletic, so his part is just playing fast now. I mean, he knows the plays and everything. It's just, he's got to go out there and just play with that confidence level now.
All right, we got one more. It's Ronald Clark.
Obviously, it's really early into camp for you guys, and you have quite a bit of moving pieces on the defense. What do you feel like you guys are so far as a cohesive unit?
Sorry, can you say that one more time for me?
Sorry, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Can you just repeat it for me?
So obviously it's early in camp for you guys, but you have a couple moving pieces on the defense, a few in the secondary as well. How do you feel like you guys are gelling so far together?
So with the way KP is doing it, he's just simplifying the coverages. So, really with the NCAA giving us those previous walkthroughs before starting camp, we already kind of got, a gel going. So, with camp, it's kind of like, we're not missing a beat because we already had those walkthroughs and we took full advantage of them. And the coverages, like I said earlier, is way more simpler than the previous years too.
All right, we'll go to Phil Mayer.
Hey, Zach. So with obviously COVID-19 and everything, I'm sure you guys have had to take some different kind of measures. Has there been anything that's been hard to adjust to, like maybe social distancing on the sideline or wearing masks or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. Wearing these masks right here, it's not fun at all. It's like one of those winter ski mask things, and I hate wearing it, but it's something you got to do. I mean, it for sure gets you in shape a little bit, but it's just real uncomfortable when it's, 100 degrees outside and the turf's like 130. So
I feel like one of my weakest points last season was my weight and my strength on the field. and with that, I got in the weight room a lot more and gained a lot more pounds, and I added about 7 pounds to my weight, so I'm about like 220 right now. And I feel like
There you
I
go.
look good in the weight room as well. So
Sweet. And I know it's only been a couple of days, but how's Allen looking? A guy that's kind of been, injured for the primary part of the first 2 seasons. Is he kind of like looking out there like a guy with a chip on his shoulder or something to prove? How's he been out there?
he looks good. Me and him, we're always talking all the time after practice. We're always chatting it up, making sure we're on the same page with our routes and our timing as well. So I feel like he's gonna have a great season this season.
Go to Ronald Clark.
Sorry.
Sort of to piggyback off of his question, obviously there's quite a bit of new faces in that quarterback room. Can you sort of tell the difference so far between those quarterbacks, and what is that chemistry like amongst the quarterback group and the receiver group?
With two of the groups, I feel like we still have a lot more to work on, but the guys have to separate themselves and show that they can play at this level. And with that, I feel like there's a lot more work to do. We have like 4 more weeks till we play our first game, so we have a lot more time to get the timing right and stuff like that.
Go to Ryan King.
Hey Eric, something I was curious about was last year you really burst onto the scene. You led the team in receiving, all those type of things. Have coaches talked to you about being different as far as being expected to be the go-to guy and how defense will attack you differently? And how are you mentally preparing for that, knowing you're probably going to get, the brunt of the coverage whenever you go against teams now that they know about you?
I take it day by day. It all starts in fall camp, getting time with the quarterbacks, like I said, and with that, I'm not really worried about. At the end of the day, we're gonna do what we got to do, and if I don't get a hot start, like maybe I feel like I should, but we're gonna put points on the board regardless, and with that, is what it is.
Go to Billy Watson.
Hey Eric, Coach Wells mentioned yesterday about the 4 freshman receivers being really good so far. What do you think of the position group? How has it been so far with the talent and the depth there as well?
A lot of competition in the room right now. We got 2 big freshmen came in, and they've showed that they can play at this level as well. And I feel like they got a lot to learn, obviously, but I'm coaching them up. I'm showing them the way. I'm trying to, get them right, but I feel like they'll be straight and they'll be good.
Go to Chuck Carlton, then we'll go to Don Williams.
Yeah, Eric, I was just curious, are you the sort of player who sets goals before the start of the season, and are they more maybe staff specific, or are they more just, hey, I want to do this better, I want to do that better?
Every player has goals with stats, but at the end of the day, it's about the team and it's about winning. And we want to make a bowl game this year. I haven't been to a bowl game the first 2 years of being here, so really all my goal is win.
And I asked Zach this a couple minutes earlier. Just curious, where were you of the max decisions shut down and all the discussions going on in college football? Are you blocking that out, or are you kind of keeping one eye on that?
I saw it, but we're gonna do what we got to do to get prepared for the first game. And if they shut us down, they shut us down. But we're working hard every day, no matter who's shutting their seasons down or anything like that.
Go to Don Williams.
Hey Eric, you mentioned a moment ago about adding weight and changing your body and getting stronger. Are you kind of self-motivated and a self-starter in that regard, or are there any people who have helped you in that way, be it a teammate or nutritionist or coach, somebody in the weight room?
Coach Scholes, Derek, the whole coach, strength and conditioning staff, they've all like pushed me to, you know, get my weight to where I should be and my strength to where it should be. And I feel like they did a great job with that. And, you know, I'm not done. I still have 3 more years of eligibility. So I feel like I can reach higher ranks with that.
Also, changing your number going into this season, what is the significance of wearing number 13 for you? How did you arrive at that?
Number 13 goes way back to my high school days, obviously. So I feel like it's a fresh start. You know, I played very well in number 13. I feel like it's a lucky number for me. So
that's the number you wore in high school?
Yes, sir.
Also, Zach was asking a moment ago about just what it's like, especially with this heat, and having to wear face coverings during practice.
It's not bad. I feel like the splash guard is what I'm using right now. Some guys took the splash guard off and just used the mask on their face, under their helmet. And I feel like the splash guard, I don't really feel a difference. Sometimes I do, so I just catch my breath taking off my helmet a little bit. But I feel like it's not that bad.
Go to Phil Mayer.
Yeah, so with some uncertainty around the season, and Chuck mentioned the MAC earlier, is it hard to get as fired up as you normally would for college football season?
You know, during spring football, we only had about 3-4 practices, and we got cut short. And for 3 months, we're just watching our film from spring and just wishing that we could be on the field again. So with this, you know, it's nothing like it. You know, I love being with my guys, with my teammates, and practicing hard every day.
Yeah, and then one other question. A new coach in the secondary, some new guys. What differences have you seen from the DBs from last year?
A lot of changes, a lot of movements, but I feel like they're getting a lot better than they were. You know, guys moving around, different looks, different presses on the line. So I feel like they're getting better and having a better stride.
Go to Ronald Clark real quick.
Going back to your production from a season ago, do you feel, because of what you did last year, do you feel pressured at all to be that number 1 guy again this year?
No pressure. I feel like, you know, next guy up. If someone goes down, you gotta be the next guy up and do what you gotta do. I've been wanting to be the number 1 guy since I came to Tech, and I feel like this is my chance, so I'm gonna take it and run with it.
Go back to Don Williams.
Eric, I just wanted to ask you about the freshman guys at your position. If you could give me like an individual impression of JJ and some individual impression of Loic and some individual impression of Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk, you know, he's a hard worker. He's fighting, you know, to make it on the bus so he could play. And Loic, you know, Loic and JJ just came in. They're 2 big guys, 6'4" guys. Loic's fast dude, track runner. And JJ is a strong, you know, big body. He's gonna be the red zone threat, and I feel like they're gonna be really good here, and this is a perfect fit for them.